Glad to have you back. We are on now to our second big story, talking about expired tires. Do you know if your tires are expired? Do you know that, Ngozi? I don't
All I know is that I bought 4 brand new tires sometime last year.
Okay, I hope you're fine.
I trusted that, I was buying, when you're buying brand new tires, why do you even need to check for the expiry date, to check for, all of those things that they say you need to check to be sure that you're buying something that's not substandard?
That you could get a new tires. There could be fake tires. There could be substandard tires. Sometimes because of the packaging and all that, and people's greed anyway.
Indeed. All right, so Nigeria will not be made a dumping ground for substandard and dangerous imported goods. So the Director General of the Standard Organization of Nigeria, Osita Aboloma, said this while sealing off a warehouse in Lagos loaded with fake tires valued at $15.9 million.
Ifunanya Eze, our correspondent, was there for us.
The tires were said to be imported from China by a Chinese company, Sino Nigeria Import and Export Limited. The major worry about this importation is that the importer cloned names of major brands and faked them. It was also discovered that many of the tires were bent, ruptured and weak as they were stuffed into one another. In some instances, as much as 5 tires were stuffed into one, an action the Standards Agency says is capable of endangering lives.
This is the largest seizure of substandard tires in one swoop in the history of Nigeria. We have over 60 containers of tires, actually stuffed tires to be precise. What we have here is unscrupulous importers trying to deceive and mislead Nigerians. They import tire, they stuff them, they damage the tire, and they rebrand them and sell them to the unsuspecting publics. This is a clear case of investing millions to kill millions of Nigerians.
Further findings by the SON officials revealed that majority of the tires were post-dated.
This is a problem. It's a clear and present danger that intends to consume us. Not only do they stop there, they go ahead to post-date the tires. Look at this. These tires, they came into Nigeria though through the seaports. They came in about 3 weeks ago, but look at it here, it's post-dated. That's why we've done a lot of sensitization. We tell Nigerians before you buy a tire, check the dot number. That is the date of manufacture.
The Standards Agency says that it will prosecute the 2 Chinese arrested in connection with the imported substandard tires. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.
Obusolami, the sad part is that these 2 Chinese gentlemen may not be the main actors in this particular breakthrough, by the Standard Organization of Nigeria. There may be a lot more people behind them, and other people doing the same business.
Oh yes,
pari passu.
Oh yes, you can be rest assured, and some Nigerians are also involved.
Absolutely.
Perhaps some agencies are also culpable in this matter, really.
All right, we're joined from Abuja by the Zonal Commanding Officer, RS7, Kingsley Agomo. Good morning and thanks for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, so, this is really troubling. 2 million fake brand new tires find their way into Nigeria. And yes, we've made this arrest of these 2 Chinese men, but there are fears that there might be more out there behind this nefarious business. Talk to us about it.
It's quite disheartening, and it's so painful too. Criminals will never stop in trying to beat the law. What I advise everybody to do is to remain vigilant. they will keep trying to devise other means, to circumvent the law. I think it's something that no right-thinking human being will ever support. For somebody to now import fake tires, post-date them, is to say the least, is suicidal. And we know that the level of advocacy now, as regards to the use of imported fairly used tires, has gone up now. So we advise all Nigerians to be very careful and then to report to relevant authorities.
Kingsley, let's try and put this in proper perspective. Kingsley, sorry, I have to interrupt you. So we can put this in proper perspective. In terms of the category, you have the substandard tires, you have the expired tires, you have the used tires. Can you categorize this and talk on each of this category, please?
We're not sure Mr. Kingsley Agbomoh heard that question. Okay, if you heard that question, maybe you want to ask the question
we
again?
need you to tell us about, because you have about 3 different issues going on here. You have the substandard tires, which is perhaps the fake tires, the expired tires that you have imported in, the importation of used tires. Talk on each of these categories, please.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
The fairly used tire, the fairly used tires, are tires that have been used abroad. They are all expired, and people now import it into the country. So we advise people not to buy fairly used tires. They are not good for any road user to use. They are expired. Then the substandard tires too is also not good for any road user to use, to put on his vehicle. By the mere word, substandard, what it means is that tire does not meet all manufacturing specifications. So to us, it is not, nobody should use it, nobody should buy it.
Well, it's one thing telling Nigerians not to use it. When you go to a mechanic workshop, for example, or you even go to the tire dealer, some would tell you, look, the Tokunbo one, what we popularly call Tokunbo, the fairly used tires that you say are actually expired. There's the perception that they're actually better quality than the new tires. Speak to that, if you can.
Yes, it's not true. There's no way a fairly used tire will be better than a brand new tire. So we have tried so much to enlighten the public. In addition to checking the dot number, the date of manufacturing, which is written on the sides of the tires, so you on your own you can confirm if that tire has expired or not. It doesn't matter if the tire looks new. It doesn't matter if the tire is wrapped with cellophane. So insist that just go through on the side of you will see the date of manufacturing, and then you can now decide whether to buy the tire or not.
Okay. Now we see some tires being stuffed and unstuffed right there on the screen right there. Now we hear that this process of stuffing the tires in themselves, even if they were standard tires, could actually render the tires dead on arrival. Do you want to expatiate on that for us?
Yes, that's true. the mode of storage, affects the lifespan of the tire. And then again, the weather under which the tire is also, or the environment under which the tire is also stored, also affects the lifespan of that tire. And then we have a lot of Nigerians, they have fleets of cars at home and they park them, not using them for months. So that alone, leaving a car parked in a particular location for a long time also affects the lifespan of that tire too.
Okay. That's a very good information. We didn't know that. Okay, so you just need a car right now. But let's talk about the cost of the used tires versus the cost of a new tire. We are in a recession, give or take. How many people can really afford the new tires? I know you will tell me, is that enough? Can you equate the cost of a new tire to the cost of your life? But some people can't afford the new tires.
The truth of the matter is, that there's no way you can't just decide to put your life and the life of other road users in danger because you want to save costs. For you to own a car, you should also go that extra mile, to ensure that the tires in that vehicle are, meet all the necessary specifications and standards. So to us, like you said,
you hold on.
Can't equate it with life.
All right, would like you to hold on for us a bit. Let's just put this out. In spite of strict and heavy presence of security operatives, somehow this, smugglers or dealers actually get, fake and substandard tires into the country. And do you know what? Some 5,000 Nigerians die every year due to this fake tires. So it's a very, very serious issue we're talking about now. And like Busalami said, look, yeah, the cost of brand new tires may be high. The challenge, of course, is there that the tires are even backdated in many cases. So if you were to look at the manufacturing date, or DOT, date of manufacturing, according to our guest, it still does not solve the problem.
It doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't.
All right, we'll take a short break now and return with more. We're speaking with Kingsley Agomo. Stay with us. All right, we're talking about the proliferation of fake tires in Nigeria. Some 5,000 Nigerians lose their lives every year on the roads due to fake or substandard tires. And of course, the Standard Organization of Nigeria, what's that word again? In alliance with the FRSC, the Road Safety Commission, they're collaborating to enlighten Nigerians on the need to check over and over again for that new tire. Don't go for the fairly used. They are already dead on arrival.
And in any case, there is a ban on importation of the fairly used cars. That's last year, according to the federal government, no more. So if you get fairly used cars in Nigeria, it's illegal, and perhaps you could be prosecuted for that. Really.
Absolutely, you're committing a crime.
Yes.
It's an offense. All right, before we get back with our guest who is in Abuja, Kingsley Agomo, will bring you the news update. Stay with us. Ikechukwu, over to you now.
Well, thank you, Ngozi. The conspiracy was to steal from her, but they ended up taking her life. Now they will have to pay with their own lives. A Lagos High Court has sentenced 2 men to death by hanging for the murder of Facebook lover girl Cynthia Osokogo. The 2 were found guilty of 4 counts of conspiracy to commit murder, conspiracy to steal, and of course, and stealing. Well, Senate has explained why it confirmed 45 out of 47 non-career ambassadorial nominees, rejecting the stealing, the remaining 2. At plenary, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, Senator Monsurat Sumonu, says the Imo State nominee was arrogant and refused to answer all questions posed to him. And the Ondo State nominee was indicted by security report from security services. With Thursday's exercise, a total of 93 ambassadorial nominees have been screened and confirmed by the Senate in line with Section 171, subsection 4 of the 1999 Constitution. A secretary to the government of the Federation, Babachir Lawal, has reversed his position on his appearance before Senate panel investigating the presidential initiative on the Northeast. The SGF was billed to appear on Thursday before the ad hoc panel on the investigation led by the Senator Shehu Sani from Kaduna. But Lawal had on Wednesday written the panel that he would not appear because he had approached a court on the matter. However, in a new letter on Thursday, the SGF asked the panel to give him another date for the appearance. In other stories, the General Secretary of the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria has called on the federal government to pay all their promotion arrears owed workers. The General Secretary of the Union, Babachir Lawal, says provision was made for the promotion arrears in the 2016 budget, adding that workers are surprised that it has not been disbursed. That's the update. Back to you.
Thank you, Ike.
Right, you're welcome back. We're looking at the incidents of fake tires in Nigeria. There's so many all around. Last year, the Federal Road Safety Corps, the FRSC, said expired or fake tires were responsible for about 3,000 road accidents in the last 5 years. So how do you identify the date of manufacture and expiration dates of your tires?
It is easy to identify when a tire was manufactured by trading its tire identification number, which is usually written on the side of the tire. It is represented by a 4-digit number. The week of manufacture is shown by the first 2 digits, while the last 2 digits stands for the year of manufacture.
Now, for most tires, the expiration date should be between 4 to 6 years from the date of manufacture. Now, what is quite interesting is that a tire doesn't start to age at its production day because tires are made mostly of rubber, and rubber degrades with age, sunlight, heat, general wear and tear. They all contribute to accelerate the breakdown of a tire. Now, once a tire begins to break down, it becomes more likely to fail, often at highway speeds.
When tires are old, the flexible components of a tire harden and become brittle. Older tires are more likely to fail than newer ones, and such failures often cause catastrophic injuries or death. Many people who patronize the marketers of second-hand or Tokumbo tires say it is more affordable than brand new tires, which are not pocket-friendly to them even right now. To enlighten road users, the FRSC frequently organizes campaigns to educate them on the importance of standard tires for their vehicles and how to identify expired tires.
All right, Kingsley Agomo is Zonal Commanding Officer, RS7, and he's been speaking with us from our Abuja studio. So now talk to us about this collaboration between the FRSC and Standard Organizations of Nigeria. How successful has this collaboration been in, one, of course, enlightening Nigerians on what to look out for, and has it reflected in the number of deaths on the roads?
Thank you very much. It's the collaboration between the FRSC and the Standard Organization of Nigeria is being so successful, and the level of awareness concerning the usage of tire, the date of manufacturing, you agree with us, more people now know more about tires. Like we heard from your intro, tire has a lifespan of 4 years. So after 4 years, the tire is no longer good for you to use in your vehicles. You know? And then again, not only 4 years, if you have used that car to do 80,000 kilometers, you shouldn't use that tire again. Whichever one that comes first. So it's possible that the tire has not stayed up to 4 years, but you have used that tire and you've done 80,000 kilometers with that tire. So you are advised not to use the tire because the tire is no longer safe for you to use.
Okay, last year you started some kind of a prosecution of those using expired tires, and I think somebody took you to a court as telling you that you do not have the right to prosecute. Your act only says you can give ticket, for instance, to say, okay, you flouted this law, and you can charge the person to the court, and the courts decide if the person is guilty or not. Tell us how that is working for you right now in terms of prosecution.
Yeah, it's actually working for us. Within the zone RS7, from January to March, we've been able to tire offenses that we are arrested is in the figure of 2,085. That's the number of tires related offenses. And then within the zone and within the same period, in FCT, tire-related crashes is 14, while in Niger we have 10. So we have every legal right, and then the law allows us to arrest someone driving with worn-out tires, and the fine is 3,000 naira.
Okay.
All right. So now there's the added problem of what you do with this tires that have been impounded in terms of disposing of them. Every now and again, you see the road safety or even the police burning some of these tires or some of these expired or substandard goods that have been impounded. Doesn't that further complicate the issues for the environment? So how do you dispose of these expired tires?
Okay, we are not involved in the burning of the tires. What we normally do if our vehicle is accosted, for you driving with worn-out tire or an expired tire, we issue a ticket, and then it says that you go and change those tires. And once you change it, we just allow you to go and dispose of the tires. So we don't take responsibility of burning the tires or storing them. No, we don't do that.
Isn't that counterproductive?
If we see a vehicle, we won't ask the vehicle, okay, let us jack the vehicle up and remove the tires. No.
Because I could pay the fine of 3,000 naira. Kingsley, Kingsley, I could pay the fine.
That we are doing it for their own safety. Yeah. We want to save life. We don't want people to die.
All right.
Crashes because of tire burst, because of using expired tires.
Yes, but my question is, when you allow somebody who's been arrested, been given the ticket to go away with the tires, doesn't that further, still expose Nigerians to the risk? How do you ensure that they don't go back and use the tires that you say is substandard?
I only pay 3,000 if I'm caught again.
Okay, it seems Mr. Agomo did not hear that question.
I hear them again.
If you can hear me, my question was, what do you do then? How do you now ensure that when you allow those people to go away with the tires that they've been arrested for or have been apprehended for, won't they use the tires again? Okay, I guess we might just have to leave it there. We'll take a short break and return. We're looking at expired substandard tires. Like you heard earlier, many Nigerians are losing their lives to this, substandard tires. All kinds of things actually find their ways into Nigeria. It's not only fake tires or expired tires we're talking about here.
Jollof rice came in sometime.
Absolutely. Now we have Gari coming from India, and who is ensuring that this, Gary, if we do accept them in the first place, that actually, should be consumed by Nigerians.
All right.
How wholesome are they?
We have more for you right after this time out.
All right. Concerns over expired tires finding their ways into Nigeria in spite of all the strict and heavy presence of several regulatory and security bodies in the country. Fake and substandard goods still find their ways into the country. What exactly is going on? How is this happening under their watch? Yes, of course, Standard Organization of Nigeria and the FRSC, they are collaborating to ensure that the incidence of deaths as a result of these fake tires is reduced drastically. But how much success have they achieved, and how aware are Nigerians too about these fake tires? We try to differentiate between fake tires, substandard, and of course the fairly used
tires,
popularly
really
known as Tokunbo.
Like we have to, otherwise until last night I didn't even know that, okay, these are the figures, these are the digits you look out for if a tire is expired or not. And I think I'm educated. So
yes.
Think of others who are not even as fairly as educated as I am, who might not be aware of what is going on. So I don't think the FRSC has done enough in terms of awareness. In terms of creating the awareness and letting Nigerians, education really, and letting public enlightenment, as it were. So Kingsley Agomo is our guest and is in our Abuja studio. Let's bring this question to you in terms of public enlightenment. Do you think you've done enough?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think without blowing our trumpets, we've done so much in the area of advocacy, public enlightenment. We have motopark rallies, and we use the language they understand, to talk to the drivers, letting them know the dangers involved associated with using fairly used tires, or Tokunbo tires as we may call it. And then also trying to let them know how they can identify the date of manufacturing on the tires. And again, in churches and in mosques, we have also carried public enlightenment to our religious houses, so that people will also be educated and enlightened concerning the date of manufacturing, why they should not buy expired tires. And we want people to take ownership of it, And when they do that, the entire exercise will achieve more. If you're boarding a vehicle, I want the person to check the date of manufacturing yourself. I said, no, I won't enter your vehicle because your vehicle has an expired tire. So the man will not he will not go and start buying fairly used tires. Even when somebody is giving you a lift, you're traveling and somebody wants to take you from one location to the other, check the date of manufacturing on the side of the tire. They are just the 4-digit number. The first two, like we have said on this program, is the week of manufacturing. Why the last 2 digits is the year of manufacturing. Once it's above 4 years, please do not enter that vehicle.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
So our level of enlightenment is being high.
All right. So, okay. That's really good to know. But Busolami has been wondering how come she has not seen any road safety officials at her church to enlighten her.
Yeah, you say you've been to
tires.
churches.
Okay, but that's fine. It's possible that some churches or religious organizations may have fallen through the cracks. All right, Justice Mojisola Olatoregun of Federal High Court in Lagos has granted bail to the tune of 10 million naira and 2 sureties in like sum to the Chinese nationals accused of importing substandard tires into the country.
The judge in her ruling said that she had evaluated the prosecution's counter affidavit and found that there was no inimical reason why the defendant should not be granted bail. Jialongshan, Zhu Jimyang are to deposit their international passport and resident permit as part of their bail condition.
All right, their sureties must live within the jurisdiction of the court. They must be persons of means who pay tax and must deposit their international passport. The 2 Chinese nationals, Chinedu Okay, Chinedu, really? Okay. The two Chinese nationals, of course, on the one hand, and their collaborators, Chinedu Madubuike, and two companies were arraigned on a 4-count charge bordering on conspiracy to import substandard tires and stuffing various sizes of tires into one, knowing that it will be injurious to human beings. They pleaded not guilty to the charges, and the court adjourned till May the 15th for commencement of trial.
To a large extent, I salute judiciary for having actually given a judgment that is in tandem with international standards. These are bailable offenses, and if there's really nothing overwhelmingly against the grant of bail, courts are usually disposed to grant bail by virtue of the fact that by constitutional imprimatur, every defendant at this stage is presumed innocent until proven guilty.
You know, despite all the pressure being mounted by the complainant via the media, that the court had exercised her discretion, both judicially and judiciously, in at least admitting the accused persons to bail. And we commend the ruling. We have no issues with that. We may perhaps think of maybe varying the bail conditions in respect of juristic persons, because as you may know, one of the persons standing trial here is a client and forwarding agent company. I doubt if they can be able to muster forth that kind of financial demand made by the court.
All right, Kingsley Agomo, tell us about interagency collaboration. Of course, we know that SON, the Standard Organization of Nigeria, and your organization, the FRSC, collaborating. What about the customs at the land borders? Of course, one would assume that many of these tires actually come from the land borders. Tell us about the extent of collaboration between all the agencies that are supposed to be ensuring that this doesn't happen.
Well, thank you very much. At the national level, the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Commission, has been collaborating with every stakeholder, Standard Organization of Nigeria and other organizations and security organizations, to ensure that people don't import fairly used tires into the country. And I'll tell you, it is yielding a lot of fruits. It's yielding a lot of dividends, because if you compare the level of imported used tires, we have now and what it used to be before, you see that there is a great reduction. And we need to commend our security agencies. It's work in progress. It's work in progress, and you can't. We have too many places people can bring in things into the country, and then. But in spite of that, I still believe that our security agencies are doing their best. We are collaborating with them, and it's yielding results.
Okay, maybe the question should be, you should perhaps collaborate more. Staying with the customs, maybe in terms of tariffs, have you thought about it? If you have lower tariffs where good tires can be brought in, then people can buy those tires at not so expensive, and you reduce the pressure on the used tires.
We are not involved directly in sales of tires, and then everything is determined by market forces. So we don't have direct control over the prices of tires. But what we try to let people know, something that will affect your life, something that will affect the life of your family, that will affect the life of the road users. We believe people should take it very, very seriously. If you feel you can buy a car, own a car, go just that extra mile. Tires don't expire overnight. Tires don't get bad overnight. It takes time. So people can gradually, put some money aside, so that you can, that in the next 4 years I need to change my tire. So if you start saving 2,000 or 1,000 before that period, you'll be able to, get the money together and not waiting till the date. When his tire is going to expire. So it is something you should plan ahead. You know, so that's what we are advising. We know things are hard, but we are advising that people should plan ahead. You know.
Yes, indeed. And now tell us, how often do you carry out these raids at the warehouses where some of these expired or substandard tires are warehoused? Is it one-off thing? Do you have to rely on tip-offs, or how do you go about it?
That's the collaboration we are talking about. You know, we don't normally go to warehouses. You know, is the standard organization that normally go to warehouses, you know, to check, you know, and then issue out the necessary punishments. You know, so ours is on the road, and then we look at your tires. You know, we go to the parks, we stop you on the road, we check. You know, and that's why I said it is time that the public should take ownership of it. You know, if you want to, your family is traveling, you get to the park, look at the tire, check the date of manufacturing. If the tire has expired, if the tire is worn out, do not allow your family to enter. Nobody is going to force you to board a particular vehicle. So when transport owners know that the public, before they board your vehicle, they will go and check if the tire is expired, is the tire worn out, you know, the bank will say, no, I'm not going to. And it will make the transporters to now do the right thing. So it will become a collaborative, a joint effort between the commuters, the law enforcement agencies, to get the right thing done.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Kingsley Agomo, Zonal Commanding Officer, RS7 Road Safety Commission there in Abuja, speaking to us about concerns over the expired substandard tires in Nigeria. Of course, like you heard earlier, many Nigerians have lost their lives. The figure is put somewhere at about 5,000, but you can already imagine that it may be a lot more than that.
Indeed.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show. There's a lot more coming your way on TVC Breakfast. So we're going to be talking about Arsene Wenger. For those of you who are Arsenal diehards,
The Gunners.
where do you stand? All right, we'll find out right
Stay with
after
us.
this.